guys. Welcome to Lessons with Miss Lewis. Glad to have you back. It is April 6th, and I'm coming to you live with a lesson about community helpers. We are doing social studies right now, so grab a seat and join me. All right. So like I said, our lesson is on community helpers. You might say, Miss Lewis, what is a community helper? We're going to get to that. All right. So what are we learning to do, Miss Lewis? You are learning to identify a community helper and the impact that their actions have on our community. You'll know you have it when you can provide at least 3 examples of a community helper and describe what the community might look like without a community helper. All right, we know identify means to point out. All right, and we know impact means the change that they've had on our community. So that's what we're going to be learning about today. All right, here's the vocab that we'll need. We're going to need to know the word community, sanitation, emergency, healthcare, and paramedics. These are some of the words that I thought we might not be too familiar with yet, and we're going to work some more with those words today. If you want to learn more about these words, you can go to the link to the right, and I'll tell you all about it. I'll put this entire presentation in your Google Classroom for you to use later. All right, so let's talk about what is a community. A community is a group of people who live and work together in the same area. Like our classroom is a community. We don't live there, but we do our schoolwork there, we eat together, we keep up our classroom together, and so as a classroom, we are a community. All right, it's the responsibility of the people in that community to take care of it. And there's all kinds of people who have all different kinds of jobs that help take care of the community. All right, so you might say, what is a community helper? Community helpers are people who do jobs that keep the community safe, healthy, and running smoothly. I want you to say those 3 words with me again. All right, safe, healthy, and running smoothly. Community helpers do jobs that keep the community what? All right. Can you think of anybody who does a job like this? I'll give you a second. All right. I can think of some people. About people like doctors and nurses, healthcare teams, emergency service workers, food providers, people who prepare our food, sanitation workers, and teachers. All right, emergency service workers. Emergency service workers are people like police officers, paramedics, firefighters, and the armed forces. We all know police officers. We've had a couple come to our class. Paramedics are the people that you see driving ambulances. They arrive on the scene quickly to get people the medical help that they need. All right, we have firefighters, people who fight fires, and then we have the armed forces, so like the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and people like that. Emergency service workers keep the community safe in time of crisis. So they're trained to stay calm during these times and make sure that everyone is safe and gets the help that they need. People like this are so important because they keep us safe. Food service workers. All right, I'm going to give you a question to think about. Can our community stay safe and healthy without nutritious, clean food to eat? I'm going to think about that too. I don't think so. I don't think our community can stay safe and healthy without nutritious, clean food to eat because we need food, and we need our food to be clean, and we need our food to nourish our bodies. And the food service workers make sure that happens. So we have the people who grow and pick the food. We have the people who work in the stores where we buy the food. And we have the people who prepare the food and serve it to us. And those are all really important people because we need them. If no one picks the food, how will we ever get the food? If no one works in the store to sell us the food, how will we buy the food? And if no one prepares it for us, how can we eat it? All right, next, we have sanitation workers. Sanitation is one of those vocabulary words that we used earlier. All right? Sanitation just means to be free of dirt or germs. In other words, it just means to clean. So a hand sanitizer cleanses your hands. Sanitation workers clean our communities. They make sure our community stays clean. They take care of our garbage and recycling, and they also work to make sure that the drinking water that we have is clean. Drinking water is so important. You can't survive without water. So sanitation workers make sure that we have clean water to drink. It's important. Would you want to drink dirty water? I sure wouldn't. And so we have to make sure that we thank our sanitation workers every time we see them. In Lexington, we have a company called LexServe, and the people who work there take care of these things for us. Can you imagine what our community would be like without our sanitation workers? Try to imagine that for a second. I'm about to sneeze. Next, we have our healthcare workers. There we go. Healthcare means providing medical services to people. So hospitals, doctors' offices, and clinics are places that provide medical care. Healthcare workers are people like surgeons, doctors, nurses, anesthesiologists, so the people who help put you to sleep when you have surgery or make sure that you're okay when you are going into surgery, nurse technicians, paramedics, caregivers, and anybody else who takes care of people when they need it. Here in Lexington, we have 9,000 healthcare workers just at the University of Kentucky Healthcare alone, not to mention all the other hospitals and offices that there are here. Almost all of us know someone who works in healthcare. Our healthcare workers are so important to us. We talked in our classroom about all the important things they are doing to keep us protected during this time. If you know any healthcare workers, be sure to thank them. So let's talk about that word, impact. We know what that word impact means because we talked about it all the time, right? Show me the move for impact, right? Because we know it makes a big change. These community helpers impact our community every day. To help us understand their impact, for today's activity, we're going to imagine what our community would look like without these helpers. Dun, 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 dun. We have reached the secret word, everybody. Today's secret word is pickles. I want you to head on, when this video is finished, I want you to head on over to the secret word of the day question in Google Classroom, answer it, and that's how you get credit for watching today. All right, remember, your secret word for today is pickles. Don't tell anybody. Right. Thank you for learning with me. Once you finish putting in your secret word for today, complete the community helpers assignment in your Google Classroom. Miss you always. See you later.
Hey guys, I just wanted to come and explain your activity for today a little bit more in depth. So, to show that you understand the impact that a community helper has on our community, you are going to draw that impact. So, our activity for today, you are going to draw what your community looks like with the community helper that you choose and what it looks like without. So I chose to start with what my community would look like with sanitation workers. I'm not finished yet, so, and you know I can't draw, but I just wanted to show you the way that I would be thinking about this if I were you. So I want you to draw one smooth line down the middle, one side with, one side without. And for without, you're going to have to use your imagination a little bit more. Now, you're going to draw what it looked like with and without. Then I want you to turn to the back and I want you to write what things were different on each side. So with, you put what things into your drawing, and without, you put what things into your drawing. So like I might say, with sanitation workers, the streets were clean, more kids were outside playing because their streets were clean, there was no trash left on the sides of the road, things like that. And without, I might say, no one picked up the garbage. My water wasn't clean, things of that nature, right? All right, happy drawing. I can't wait to see what you show me in Google Classroom. Bye.